Rev up your engines! Okay, the Rav4 is Toyota's biggest seller, but they cost too much money. Do like this guy did. He just bought this one used with like 40,000 miles for $19,000 from a friend who was leaving the country. So good advice is, if you have friends who are leaving the country and they have good cars, buy them from them. One was made in Canada. It's front wheel drive, but he doesn't need all-wheel drive. You get better gas mileage with front-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive. Most people really do not need all-wheel drive. And considering the prices of SUVs with all-wheel drive, you might reconsider what you want to buy if you really don't need all-wheel or four-wheel drive. And in this case, they've been making these things for ages. Their transmissions are relatively bulletproof. They're solid vehicles. They don't have any particular problems. And I wouldn't expect it with one that's only got 45,000 miles. We look at the interior. Now, it came with this. He added that on top because he wants to go a little bit fancier, and I don't blame him. And you can see you can go eco, normal, sport. It does have electronic parking brake. Basically, they all do these days. He's got his family in here. It's got a nice sized trunk when the seats flop down, and it also has fabric interior. The last thing you want with kids is leather interior. They will scratch it, they will break it, they will stain it. The cloth interior cleans, and it lasts forever. So think about that the next time you're thinking, oh, I'd really like leather interior. Maybe you wouldn't. It'll crack in the sun. These things can last forever. Ultra reliable 4-cylinder Toyota engine. It's not turbocharged, it's normally aspirated, and they can also basically last forever. This little tiny 1.3, 1.5, this is a 2.5 liter engine, has plenty enough horsepower, but he can still get 32 to 34 miles a gallon on the highway. So you get the best of both worlds. You get an engine that's got some oomph to it, but it still gets pretty good gas mileage. A lot of that is because it's front wheel drive. If it was all wheel drive, you're going to knock 2 to 3 miles per gallon gas mileage off. Another reason that if you don't need four-wheel drive, hey, don't buy it. Plus, if you got an all-wheel drive vehicle, you get one flat tire. You got to replace all the tires so they wear evenly and don't wipe out your transfer case and your transmission and your differential with different size tires. This, you don't care. Maybe you get a blowout in the front. If the other one is somewhat worn, you would replace just the front tires. You don't have to buy all four. Now, one of the reasons it gets better gas mileage is because it's an 8-speed transmission. The owner says, and I agree, he prefers the 6-speed because it's simpler. You get a little bit worse gas mileage, but they can last forever. I mean, they can really last a long time. But beggars can't be choosers. When you're buying a nice car like this for $19,000 with 40,000 miles, hey, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth. These don't have any particular problems on the Rav4s. Now, some people that are fanatics will say, oh, well, I don't like the shifting legs. Well, it's got its own fix right here. Drive it in sport mode, then it won't shift and have legs. It'll be a lot stronger and it won't be hunting for gears. You get a little bit worse gas mileage, but the transmission will shift a lot tighter if you drive it in sport mode. The main reasons they sell so many, it's basically 3 vehicles in one. You can drive it in eco mode, you can drive it in normal mode, you can drive it in sports mode. If you think, oh, in eco mode or normal mode, you get a little hunting for gears at certain speeds, put in sport mode, it'll go away. And so, hey, maybe you like driving your way. Your wife doesn't care. She'll put it in eco mode to get better gas mileage. So really, you get 3 cars in one, and they don't have any particular problems. So he bought it used, so we're gonna get the giant computer out and hook it up. It does have a key, I like that, it's not keyless. We're all doing analysis of this thing, and there we go. Rav4, North America, 2019, made in Canada without a smart key. Taking a little time, here we go. It's gonna do a full topology scan, and while it's doing that, we'll just kind of look through. Well, look, this is the smallest outside driver cell. Look, they're small, and they fit in this little hole there. Isn't that cool? Now, I did buy this used, so there'll probably be some codes, and as a matter of fact, it's got some codes here. But I imagine most of them are going to be baloney codes that nobody cares about, such as the navigation system, because as you can see, he's got his own Chinese navigation system set up. Much better than the one it comes with. Ignition microphone disconnect. Yeah, disconnected because he put his own in. So we'll get rid of those codes. Same thing with the telematics. It'll have the same type of thing, I bet. Code for that, because he's put his own system in. I'm assuming all these things have to do with him putting a fancy system in himself. All the codes are just kind of dummy, stupid codes because he put a different navigation system in, on-hook stuff. Nothing to do with how the car runs. All that crap, we'll take it for a spin. Start her up. You can see it's got a nice setup. I mean, it does have the electric parking brake, which I am not a fan of. Finally, it turned itself off. I can't stand those things. I find them annoying. Idle smooth as can be. After all, like I said, it is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. That's a relatively big. And that 8-speed transmission, hey, to me it's smooth enough. Less hunting for gears. Put it in sport mode. Now it says sport up there. And we'll take a little trip to Tobacco Road. He's coming down Tobacco Road, so here we go. Take it to the little drag strip. Do stop. Nobody's coming there. And here we go. Hey, it almost started peeling out. The traction control kicked in. Plenty of acceleration. No dog, that's for sure. 2.5 liters is a reasonable size engine. And with that transmission, you got a lot of gears to mess with, so it's got pretty good acceleration. For example, here we're going 35, we'll floor it. If you're gonna pass somebody, and look, you see, the speedometer picks up pretty quickly. It's a zippy little thing. And yeah, it's a little bit of a bumpy ride. It's a Rav4, you know? It's like a little truck. And we'll turn around. Really? Hey, nice short turning radius. I just went slow because I'm worried about traffic, but hey, it's got a nice tight turning radius. It's a very fun vehicle to drive around. But really, for a relatively high vehicle, hey, it corners quite well. Stable. It's got traction control that works quite well. Why people have their own navigation systems. Look, you get a lot more information you're ever going to get out of some factory navigation system. I can see why he turned the factory one off. It reads Chinese, hence we got a lot of Chinese characters there. I don't know what it means, but he does. Now we shut it off, and we'll check to see if any of the codes came back, and they're all baloney codes, so none of them have come back. Now the Rav4 is Toyota's biggest seller, but unfortunately, being their biggest seller, they mark them up. I've seen new ones around here for like $48,000, $51,000. For $18,000, did he get a deal? Now his friend went back to China. He couldn't bring the car with him, so he sold them at low trade-in value. If you find somebody who's going to buy another car, that's something that a friend of mine in Houston did for ages. He would tell people, what do you want to buy? And they'd say, and he said, give me your car and I'll get you a better deal. He'd drive the car to a car dealer, he'd set up a great deal, and then he would buy the trade-in value. Whatever they offered him, he'd give them the same money and he'd get a better price. If you know anybody who's going to buy another car and they got a good car they're trading in, tell them, oh, don't go to the dealer, I'll pay you the money for it and you won't have to deal with all that headache. It's not a bad idea. The only thing wrong with these Rav4s is they're too expensive when you buy them brand new. So why not buy a good used one? Save yourself a lot of money. If you're smart like him, get an older one. This is normally aspirated. There's no turbo. There's no complex hybrid system that can cost a fortune when it breaks. No expensive battery, just a normal battery. You can't beat one of these things, and as time goes on, you'll probably never be able to get them again because they'll probably end up just like the Camrys, making nothing but hybrids because they're pushing hybrids out. This technology, hey, 33 miles a gallon is fine with me for something that might last 400,000 miles versus all that added technology. Hey, yeah, it has a fancier 8-speed transmission, but as you saw, it goes perfectly fine in sport mode. Zippy doesn't hunt for gears, so you can play with that. And maybe your wife doesn't like going fast, she'll put it in economy mode, but it won't hurt it at all. It's all just controlled by the computers. And something like this for that kind of money, if you could find one like he did with 40,000 miles, buy it. Even if you don't want a car or need a car, you could sell it to somebody else for more money. And here's some bonus questions and answers. Well, good news for Ford Motor Company. Ford Motor Company is not getting a three-peat of the most recalled vehicles in the United States. The new crown belongs to, Stellantis. No surprise. And leading the Stellantis pack is Jeep recalls and, of course, Alfa Romeos. Now, they don't sell that many Alfa Romeos in the United States. Americans aren't that stupid. The first 9 months of 2024, Alfa Romeo sold 6,818 vehicles in the United States. But they recalled them all, too, a bunch of times. They only sold 6,800. It's a meaningless figure, you know. They took the crown of most recalled manufacturer away from Ford, who'd been winning it for years, and now Stellantis can wear the crown of worst made cars in the United States, with more recalls than anybody else. And close behind was Tesla. They were close behind. Ford came in third. Oh, Ford, yeah, they're only in third place with the worst cars now. Is Ford quality getting any better? I don't think so. I think it's just the other ones are getting even worse. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.